गृह सचिव प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करें राजीव महर्षि।
Night of the 31st December and 1st January, a group of 4 persons dressed in army uniforms waylaid the car, reportedly waylaid the car of SP headquarters Gurdaspur, Shri Salvinder Singh, who was traveling with a friend of his, Mr. Rajesh Verma, and his cook, Shri Gopal Das. After the SP has reported that they were tied up, and after about 2 hours of traveling, 2 of the 3, the SP and Gopal Das, were dumped and threatened to not to move, while the vehicle continued on its journey with Shri Rajesh Verma, who also was later dumped near a village called Beli with injuries to his throat, for his injuries. At about 11 a.m. on the morning of 1st, an Innova car was found with a driver called Ikagar Singh, killed by slitting of his throat. This was near a village called Gulpur Simbali, which is in police station Narot, Jaimal. On receiving these inputs, these reports, an alert was immediately sounded, and all the vital installations and government offices were informed of a likely terrorist attack, and efforts were mounted to reconfirm the infiltration and also to try to see in which direction the terrorists had proceeded and what might their location be. By the afternoon of 1st, we were more or less certain of their location, which was Pathankot. A meeting was immediately convened at the level of NSA, attended by everybody concerned, including the Chief of the Army Staff. And thereafter, a unit of NSG were dispatched to Pathankot, and the units in Pathankot were further alerted. In the morning of 2nd January at about 3:30, the terrorists were located by means of aerial surveillance which had been mounted by the Air Force overnight, and they were immediately engaged. Because of the early action of mounting aerial surveillance on account of the alert, the terrorists were unable to move towards their likely intended target of the technical area, which has Air Force assets, but were contained in an area which is ravenous and which has got heavy growth of both trees and shrubs. They were contained in that area and surrounded, and combing operations were started. The engagement took almost the entire day, but by evening of yesterday, 4 of the terrorists had been neutralized. There was no further firing, and it was not certain whether there are other terrorists or not. In the operations, by the evening, the operations had to be done more carefully to avoid unnecessary risks to the life of security forces. But the area in which the terrorists were was firmly cordoned, and there was no chance of them escaping that area. In the morning, the engagement, they were discovered by about 12:20, where they were hiding. There were at least two more. They have been engaged since 12:20, and the operation is going on. They are limited to an area, and we are very hopeful that by this evening, these two terrorists will also be neutralized. In the 2 days of operation, we have unfortunately lost 6 security personnel of the Air Force, and we have 8 injured Air Force personnel. Insofar as NSG is concerned, this morning at about 10 o'clock, while searching the body of a dead terrorist, there seems to have been an accident with an explosive, either a grenade or another form of explosive, and in which 5 NSG personnel were injured. Unfortunately, the leader of the team, Lieutenant Colonel Niranjan E.K., later on succumbed to his injuries. Other than this, the NSG has had 9 injuries in the 2 days of operation. Thus, the NSG has lost 1 life and has 12 injuries. So, I will repeat that. The Air Force has lost 6 personnel and has 8 injured personnel. The NSG has lost Lieutenant Colonel Niranjan E.K. and has 12 injuries so far.
History has 12 injuries.
12 injuries. 12. 9 I was counting other than those, the others who got injured in the grenade blast or the explosive blast.
So clarity again. Air Force 6 dead, 8 injured.
Yeah.
NSG 12
Injured, 1 dead. Yes.
And others are 9 as well?
No, that's it.
No one from the ISC?
No, this, the dead will or injured will include DSC. So since they were on duty with the Air Force, we are deeming them as Air Force personnel. I would like to end my opening statement, by saying,
एयर फोर्स का 6 लॉस हुआ है सर
हाँ जी,
टोटल
हाँ जी,
और एनएसजी का अलग ही लॉस
या जी,
टोटल 7
हाँ जी,
So Air Force includes DSC.
yes,
1 Garud and 5 DS.
yeah.
Any of these critical or can you specify that?
So, one, Nayak Srimallu is seriously injured and he's been airlifted to Chandigarh. He is grievously injured. The others are not grievously enough injured to be lifted out of the hospital in Pathankot. At the end of this, may I just finish? At the end of this statement, I would just like to say that due to the active intelligence inputs and advanced information and the quick action taken by the security forces, especially the Air Force, we have been able to ensure that there is no damage to the assets of the Air Force, and my colleague here, Air Marshal Khosla, will brief you on that. And that therefore the main aim of the terrorists, the apparent main aim of the terrorists stands defeated. So I would like to place on record our grateful thanks to the security forces for their timely and brave action. If before you ask anything, may I just request my colleague here, Air Marshal Khosla, to also make a short opening remark.
Thank you, sir. Taking forward from where Secretary is left, I would start with paying homage to the lives which we have lost. And I would like to say that these lives have not been lost in vain. And their sacrifice has really helped us in saving the situation and not allowing the terrorists in their design. As said by Secretary, the advance warning was given and all the airfields in that area were put on alert, especially Pathankot area, because specific input was there that that is the area where likely something will happen. The Air Officer Commanding-in-Chief of Western Air Command himself went to that airfield and supervised all the operations. The coordination was done between all the security agencies, Air Force, NSG, Army, and the State Police. All aerial assets were put into place for air surveillance. All these efforts paid dividends, and whatever inputs came, they were investigated. At 3:30 in the morning yesterday, while investigating one of the contacts, one of the inputs, fire was opened by the terrorists on one of the patrols. That is the first engagement took place. The area of their presence was known. All the security forces coordinated very well, and they contained them in a particular area and didn't let them go towards the technical area where all the important high-value assets and aerial platforms are kept. These terrorists were contained, the operations continued, and by evening yesterday, as the Secretary said, 4 of them were neutralized. But the airfield cannot be declared fully sanitized till the time each and every place is checked and ascertained that there is nobody else anti-national element present there. In the night, these operations slowed down, however the area was cordoned and they were not allowed to move anywhere. In the morning, when the bodies of the terrorists were being recovered, again fire was noticed and it was realized there are 2 more, and the operations are continuing to neutralize these 2 also. The operations are at a mature stage, but the confirmation we give only once we physically see the body of the terrorist. I would say, in this case, the coordination between all the agencies was very good, and proactive stance helped us in averting a much bigger and a major damage or a calamity. Thank you.
So this is an ongoing operation, and therefore we would not like to take any questions as such, unless there's a clarification regarding the statement that we have made.
Let's go one by one. Yeah, one by one. Yeah, please, you start. Yeah.
Yeah, the casualty figures which we have said, that is 6 fatal and 8 injured, in that there is 5 personnel are of DSC. DSC personnel are 5, and 1 is from the Special Forces of Air Force, that is Garud.
Yeah, Sandeep, you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sandeep. One by one. Yeah. Yeah, I will come to you. Yes, Sandeep.
राजीव सर, क्या पठानकोट को लेके स्पेसिफिक आप लोगों के पास इंफॉर्मेशन थी, इंटेलिजेंस इनपुट था आप लोगों के पास, खासतौर से जो एक एयरफोर्स का पर्सनल पकड़ा गया था रंजीत, उसके बाद से, और क्या क्या आप लोगों ने स्टेप्स लिए थे उस इंटेलिजेंस को या फिर?
देखिए, जो मैंने स्टेटमेंट दिया है अबाउट इंटेलिजेंस इनपुट्स, उसके अलावा मैं कुछ और आपको बताने की स्थिति में नहीं हूँ.
Yeah, Nikunj, 1 minute. We'll come back to you. Nikunj, yeah.
We realized that there were some more terrorists. Yesterday when the operations were closed for the evening, was it not known that 2 more terrorists are pulled up?
See, I didn't say that. No, he didn't say that either. He'll clarify, but he said that operations were slowed down, area remained cordoned because he specifically said that we were not sure that there were more or not, and we can't declare airfield sanitized till every area is combed. So that area where the terrorist movement had been seen had been cordoned off. As I said, the operation at night obviously slows down because you want to minimize risk to your security personnel, and therefore the search started again this morning, and they were engaged at 12:20. Yeah, please.
Yeah, please. I'll clarify about what I said. When I say realized, we realized that there are 2 more. That means two more we are sure. We cannot say there are not more. There can be more also.
तो ये जानकारी दी गई है कि कुल मिलाकर 20 जवान जख्मी हैं, 7 जवान शहीद हो चुके हैं, 4 आतंकवादियों को मार गिराया गया. हालांकि एक और आतंकवादी को आज मार गिराया गया है, लेकिन अभी इस बात की पुष्टि नहीं की गई है. जो प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस की गई गृह सचिव की तरफ से, 2 आतंकवादियों की तलाश जारी है. हमले में 7 जवान शहीद हुए हैं, 6 गरुड़ के, इसके अलावा 5 डीएससी के जवान हैं। लेकिन यह भी कहा गया है कि इंटेलिजेंस इनपुट था, इसी वजह से बड़ा नुकसान नहीं हुआ और उनका जो मुख्य मकसद था उसको पूरा नहीं होने दिया हमारे सुरक्षा बलों ने।